Guys, good morning. Welcome to today's class. My name is Peter Tolola. Today we'll be discussing Trioxocarbonate 4 salts. Now you see, any salt that can be gotten from Trioxocarbonate 4 acid, they are called Trioxocarbonate 4 salt. For example, we have our H2CO3, which we call carbonic acid. Let's use this as an example. When you see CO3, we're talking about Trioxocarbonate 4. So this is carbonic acid. Now, any salt that is diabasic can produce two types of salts. Any acid, rather, that is diabasic can produce two forms of salts. For example, when we pass H2CO3 plus, let's say, caustic potash KOH, we can have KHCO3 plus H2O. This is a neutralization reaction. Then, for example, let's say have the same reaction, H2CO3 plus KOH. It can still give us K2CO3 plus H2O. They are both unbalanced. Then we cannot balance it. So if you look at it here, it can give us KHCO3 and K2CO3. Acidic salt and normal salt. When you have hydrogen here, is an acidic salt. This is a sample of this acidic salt. So as an assessment, personally, you can try to pass H2CO3 plus NaOH. So you're going to have NaHCO3 plus H2. You can balance it. It's unbalanced. I think balancing this one here, we have 2 here, potassium is 2, carbon 1, oxygen 4. Oxygen here is 5, so I think we have 2 here too. So the equation is balanced, so you can balance it by yourself. Now let's go to the bone of contention of today's class, Trioxocarbonate 4 salts. Now we have soluble Trioxocarbonate 4 and insoluble Trioxocarbonate 4. Now, like I said initially, I said monobasic acid will give one type of salt. Diabasic acid, like the carbonic acid that I did, will give 2 types of salt. Tribasic acid will give 3 types of salt. Now remember that I said initially that salts formed from Trioxocarbonate 4 acid are called Trioxocarbonate 4 salt. Now we have 2 examples, the soluble and the insoluble. Now to make it easy for you, remember that we have CO3 as a Trioxocarbonate 4. Now, Trioxocarbonate 4 of alkaline metals. Remember that alkaline metals are group 1 element. So let's write group 1 elements. We have potassium, sodium, lithium, and we can also add ammonium. This one is a radical now. Trioxocarbonate 4 of ammonium is also soluble. All of them are univalent, K+, Na+, Li+, NH4+. So if we combine it with CO3, for example, K plus CO3 2 these two will come here, so we have K2CO3. This is an example of a soluble Trioxocarbonate 4. Likewise, Na2CO3. Likewise, Li2CO3. Then likewise, NH4. Because it's a radical, the 2 takes for the 2 that is here is for both nitrogen and hydrogen there. CO3. These are examples of soluble Trioxocarbonate 4. Then others are insoluble. For example, group 2 elements, which are alkaline earth metals, Cu2+, Ca2+. So you have something like CaCO3, limestone. You also have Mg2+. So remember that when you have Mg2+ and CO3 2-, the 2 cancels the 2, so you're left with MgCO3. So we have MgCO3. Remember that this is a formula for limestone. Sometimes also call this one chalk, primary raw material for chalk. Which other one again? CuCO3. This one is Vichor. It is blue in color. Cupric sulfate, one of the most important sort of copper. So let me change my marker. This marker is already fading. So these are examples of soluble and insoluble Trioxocarbonate 4. And like I told you that we can get some of these soluble Trioxocarbonate 4 by passing CO2 to an alkali. I get now. When we pass CO2 to an alkali, this one is better. When we pass CO2 to an alkali, we can get Trioxocarbonate 4. For example, we have KOH plus CO2. Yeah, we now have K2CO3 plus H2. This is the equation for the reaction describing that process. The preparation of some of these trioxocarbonate for salts when you pass CO2 through an alkali. Remember that this is caustic potash. Alkali are soluble base. This is the base. A base is a substance that produces hydroxide ion. So you can also do the same thing too for QH. And you should take note that all trioxocarbonates 4 are decomposed by heat, except I will list 3, except trioxocarbonates 4 of potassium, sodium, and barium. They will not decompose easily on heat. And you should know that trioxocarbonate 4 reacts with water. That is like what we call hydrolysis reaction. Hydrolysis. For example, now let's say we have Na₂CO₃, sodium bicarbonate, plus water, H2O, is going to give us NaOH plus H2CO3. Sorry that I didn't write it clearly. So just know that all hydrogen they react with water, which is a form of hydrolysis reaction. And let me just give you importance of few of them. For example, the COCO3, I always call this one CACO3. It is used in the extraction of iron, and also uses in the manufacture of cement, CACO3. For that is the primary constituent of cement. Then we have K2CO3, which is used in the manufacture of glass. K2CO3 is used in the manufacture of glass. Then Na₂CO₃. It uses this one. Let me quickly discuss on this one. This one helps to control. It controls the pH. Controls the pH of water. This one controls the pH of water. And it's also added to food too as well, Na₂CO₃. And yeah, it also softens hard water. And it also softens hard water, and it's also used in the manufacture of glass like K2CO₃. So let's not forget the little things we've learned in today's class, and let's be able to utilize it. Thank you very much.